Hey everybody, it is Liz with Dizzy Lizzie Papery, and I'm so sorry. Part 2 of my junk haul, I didn't realize got messed up somewhere in the uploading adventure that it took. And so I wanted to just create a new portion of that part 2. So I don't know what I'll call it. Revised beginning of part 2 or part 2 part 2. That'd be really interesting. Anyway, let me show you the things that I talked about, but the video just stared at something else. I appreciate if you scrolled through to see where that video picks up, somewhere around 25 minutes and 21 seconds. A little bit after that, it starts to catch up. I'm editing it right now, so that won't be an issue anymore. But of course, if anyone was genuinely interested, then me showing you this gorgeous book was the cliffhanger from part 1, and then I totally, botched it. So anyway, thank you for tuning in again so that I can re-show you these glorious things. The first thing, the cliffhanger item, was this, what I liken to today's version of a composition notebook. And it's like maybe a leather binding, I'm not sure. The cover has come undone. It's got this beautifully handwritten name, and her name is Hattie. And, I love real distress, aged, worn colors to our pages. And so here's like this natural burnt edge that it's got. I didn't have to put it in my oven to get that. Which I love to do too, but it is neat to find the things that I'm always trying to make my papers look like. Okay, and then Hattie has made some beautiful notes. There's no date in her notes as far as I've seen. It is recipes, even though she writes here receipts. It says cake receipts. Was there ever a time in history when recipes were called receipts? Or maybe was Hattie confused? Oh, can you see that? It definitely says receipts, but then it's definitely 3/4 pounds of grated bread, 1 pound of sugar. So anyway, it is recipes that she's handwritten. And I guess I want to think that this is a fountain pen because of the way the words start out darker and get lighter as the penmanship goes on. But, I mean, could it even have been like where she dipped it in ink? When did we stop using those pens? Anyway, there is a mystery piece, not a mystery piece, but a surprise piece that fell out of this book that I'm going to show you that indicates to me this could be from the late 1800s, early 1900s. It's kind of lining up that way. And yet there's also something that makes it confusing. And that's this little piece here, which has stained the paper where it was left. And it is for costume slips. Rayo sheen costume slips with pretty pleated flounces. I didn't look very deeply into it, but it seems this was something from like the 1940s. So could this be an old ledger book, composition notebook that this bit of paper was just tossed into to keep her page when she was looking at her recipe for coffee cake. Maybe. Or did she still write with this ink pen in the 40s? I don't know. Most of the signs indicate this is an older piece. Okay, so that's all the pages of her writing, which will make excellent background pages, collage pages, decoupage pages. Once I'm willing to dig into it, it would be beautiful on masterboards and Franken papers. But then there's tons of pages with natural foxing that can be used just as regular journal pages. There's a bit more writing back here. Oopsie. Sorry, I had a little alarm happen. Let me just make sure that didn't mess anything up. Okay. So tons of pages that have not been written on, but that have beautiful aged coloring and character to them. Distressing. All right, now here is the surprise bit. It looks like Hattie has written another couple of recipes here. So I didn't really think all that much of it, but I love the color of the paper. Look at this. Republican sample ballot. A prohibition ticket. Okay, so what I've looked up already were some of the I was going to say contestants. Is that what they're called when they're running for office? Geez, kind of. And I definitely don't want to get political, other than to say the things that are happening here are disturbing. But it doesn't matter what side of it you are on. I think this is a super cool piece of antique ephemera. What I can tell from those of the running mates is it looks like it's the ballot, or a sample ballot for 1896. And that is, I don't know, so cool to me. It's torn. It's like, sometimes they would put these samples in the newspaper, so I don't know if maybe it was just pulled out of a newspaper, she had it as a scrap piece of paper, and that's what she wrote her notes on. Gosh, I love to put that story to it. I love how it has stained the pages it was on. And it was just tucked in there. So, I mean, to me, that was just incredible. But I love a falling apart book anyway. And at this particular estate sale warehouse that I went to, you gather up everything that you love, you take it to a person at the end, and that person will assess what you found and tell you how much to pay. I'm guessing there are people who negotiate or dicker, but I do not, because I'm just so thankful and blessed to be a part of it and to get things as cheaply as this person has found them. So, but this one in particular, I don't have it here because I have it packaged up to mail out, but one of the other things that I found is an antique poster, a wartime poster about Liberty Bonds. And apparently that is a very valuable piece of ephemera. And so he charged me more for that. And then he was going through and he saw this and the it was falling apart, and he was like, I'll just throw that in for free. And he kind of tossed it on top of the other stuff. And I was like, but that's my prized possession. I didn't say that, but that's what I felt in my mind. And so, yeah, surprise, absolute delicious goodie. All right. So that was one thing that I talked about, but that you didn't get to see in the last one. And then I talked about these napkins, decoupage napkins. I mean, they're actually cocktail napkins, but we might use them for that. I have only 3 in this pile here. I got these from a different thrift store in town. And often there's something that I will toss into a sale that I make in like my little freebie pack. I wanted to show them here in case it's something you want to send me a comment and say, I have to have that. And then I can put together a little bundle for you and put it on my Etsy shop for you to buy. I would do like a lot of 3 or 4 of them. And I don't know if I would just do these or if I would do a mix of the different cool napkins that I've been collecting. While I've got it here, if you missed it in part 1, these I also got at a local church-related thrift store. And this one was torn here, so I'm keeping this one for myself. But there were, I think, 9 or 10 more in the package. So, you know, I could do a bundle of several themed decoupage napkins. Let me show you another one I could add to it. This one I got at yet another thrift store near me. And I don't think this is like valuable or terribly vintage or anything, but I love it. And we love the napkins that have, you know, the theme on the whole napkin, you know, not just on the front corner. So I could do, you know, definitely some decoupage napkin bundles. I plan to, but I'm never good at prioritizing. So if you were to make a comment that you wanted something like this, you know, I'd put it up right away for you. I have ADHD, and so I have lots of great ideas, but it takes me a long time for them to come to fruition. Okay, so that was that one. Then I showed this book, the Look and Cook book, or tried to show. And I think it's just a community or church cookbook that was put together. And it has this amazing typewriting font for the recipes. And it's in this blue ink color. Some pages are slightly more faded. And then it's got these great drawings for the category markers. And this, I think I said it in the video that this is something, it's hard for me to know if it is better to sell this as one book, if someone wants it as a cookbook, or to sell it, you know, to break it up into pieces and put it in a paper pack. And now that I've said that, and hello, here's our Cheeto. Hi, kitty, kitty. Now that I've said that, I think I've made my decision that I will break it up and put it into many separate, many separate paper packs. All right, thank you. I have cats, just so you know. And yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I've got a lot of paper that I can share. Unless, again, you make a comment that you would like this book as a whole and shoot me a price, because I've not thought about that yet. Okay, and then I shared some linens. So this was one of the aprons I shared at the beginning of part 2. These awesome blue pansies, maybe? Or violets. And this awesome pocket with the blue rickrack around it. I love to put pre-sewn pockets in junk journals. And then something I talk about is one of the reasons I love to find aprons at estate sales or thrift stores, you know, especially if they're the kind of fabric that I love, is because I don't need a whole yard or bolt of fabric. I love them too, as well. You know, you find something special, it doesn't matter the size, but my eyes are bigger than my stomach. I end up buying so much fabric, and then I use a teeny tiny bit of it in a journal, and I'll use more of it at some point, but I'm learning just how little the amount is that I need for what I can keep up with. You know, the ideas, again, are quite grand. So that is one of the great reasons to get an apron like this. It's more than the amount of fabric that I would need for a journal. I mean, this could make easily 2 to 4 journals, you know, covers or pieces. And the already sewn pocket is wonderful. The fabrics are unique. If you can get a little bit of the pleating, you can cut like this piece here, and it's already ruffled. And you can cut that, you know, you can attach that to your piece of paper. And you can cut off the pre-sewn wraparound tie and make that a wraparound closure tie for your journal if the color goes with whatever you're aiming for. So that's that one. Then the next one I show is this one, which is mostly like a white, gorgeous linen, which a wrap tie like this could be used to turn into a snippet roll, which you could glue paper, fabric, lace, you know, anything to, or you can sew your snippets on. And I have tons of scrap fabric that I think I will sew onto these. That is, if I'm willing to tear apart this apron, which it takes me a long time to decide if I'm going to do that. Part of me wants to, and part of me has trouble. So on this one, we have got this gorgeous, I wonder if the light is too bright again. You know, let me try something else with my light. Oh, that's a little better for this one. We've got this gorgeous, it seems very old fabric to me. I've not done the research to identify it and don't even know if I could. And then it's got this, you know, this detail of seam binding. I don't know if that's like a pre-made binding ribbon of some sort, that real thin piece there. Oh, I just love it. And then I love that it's tattered and frayed, and I love that the basket is a pocket. How adorable. And then I love that it looks like through the years, perhaps someone has fixed it where it started to fray, because you can see a new machine sewing stitch where the fabric started to come apart. So it gives it even more character and age. I haven't washed these yet. But so that old fabric is on the basket part, and then it's also on the entire trim of the apron body, and you know, and then it connects up where the white tie meets. And so these would, I have a cat. It is another witching hour for my cats, and there's one that's tapping on something. In case you can hear that in the background, that's what that is. And so this basket has also had some repairs done. And I just think it's so simply beautiful. So I'll try to do some stain removal and cleaning. I don't usually gravitate toward mostly white linens because the colors, you know, often we can use the colors better in our projects. But like I said, this white fabric can be used as filler, as, you know, padding or wadding between, you know, quilted layers if you want. It can also be used to make a million other things. It can be just, you know, used in place of muslin if you need it for pattern sewing, and it can be used for snippets to, you know, turn into snippet rolls. So that one was quite lovely. And then this one is a peach on the bottom and then a white background with this fabric of flowers and lemons or citrus of some sort. And let me move this back a little bit here. Oh, that didn't do a lot of good, did it? Is it still recording? Did I mess something up? Gosh, I would not be surprised if I messed something up again, but I wonder if I can. The way I have this set up, it is hard to reach my controls. That didn't help. Sorry, I'm new to this. Okay. And here is, you can see a little bit more at least. Okay, and then it's got these spinning wheels in the pattern with the floral around it. Oh, I'm just in love with this. And I can't remember where in the previous videos I stated that I think peach is one of my colors for 2026 because it is calling to me madly. And this is just one piece of it. So the way that this apron could be used, as well as, you know, here you've got already ruffled, you know, if you cut it here, you get an already ruffled bit. You can cut this off to be your tie around. This one's got some rather deep staining there, which I'll try to wash, but I might not be able to salvage that part. It's got this pocket, and I was thinking, you know, if you cut just this strip out here, you could, I mean, that would make a gorgeous edge or pocket or belly band. I mean, so many things you could do just out of this small piece of it. And then the peach, if it's just the plain bit of peach, you can detach this pocket and put it on a peach background, which would be lovely. But then I discovered as I was doing the video before that I bought this crocheted or tatted lace large vanity doily. I don't know, or shelf doily, or I don't know what it is, but it's I wasn't sure if I was going to get it, and I'm glad I did, because as I was doing the video yesterday, I noticed how pretty it looks on top of just plain peach or plain pink. For some reason, the colors just really called to me. So something like this can be turned into so many things. You've got bits here that can be cut off with a scalloped form to be, you know, to hang off the edge as a ruffle of a page. You've got this square bit, same reason. It could be a belly band. It could be just the trim of something. And then you've got these designs, which can be divided into individual flowers, or you use this square. And then there's more of the individual flowers. It's just, there's so much you can do with it. I don't know why I was, I was second guessing myself because I have a lot of other pieces that are similar to this, just not as big. And I wasn't sure I'd be able to use this large of a piece. But it's so cheap. Linens there are very, very cheap, or affordable, I should say. And I can cut this up into pieces and share it with you. I could sell it on my Etsy shop. So again, if it's something you love, let me know. But I really loved it on top of the peach of this apron. So I think I will, you know, add it to my list of ideas that I'll probably use it that way. Okay, then let's do a paper. Let's see, what did I miss for you? I have a little note. There it is. Okay, the hanky box I have to show you. This is amazing. And then, okay, this book I started to show, or if you go to part 2, it like starts in the middle of it before I turn the pages, and you don't get to see the cover of it. So it's Lady the Little Blue Mare, and I love that it's blue because my little doggy, who we just recently had to say goodbye to, was a blue Boston, which is gray, but in the animal world they refer to it as blue. And so the Little Blue Mare I loved. It is a cozy corner book, and it is copyright 1950. Oh, let me come in a little closer again for you. How's that? Okay. And I love these. It must be the Cozy Corner books that I have others of, where I love these first plates for the illustrations and the color. But they could be used, you know, just as a little square bit that you put in for just the individual image, or you can cut this strip and make it a belly band, or, you know, a side tuck piece, in any direction. And I hadn't thought of it in a strip like that as a belly band quite before. This is so cute. The illustrations are really beautiful. And it's illustrated by Florence Sarah Winship, written by Mary Elting. There's a note that says 1951, and then copyright 1950. Whitman Publishing was out of Racine, Wisconsin, which is where I live. I'm out in Racine County. And then here's the pictures on this gorgeous old colored aged paper, which has a wonderful weight and feel to it. And let's see, a book like this can be used to be an altered book or a journal, or, you know, fussy cut out the illustrations. and use them in your books, or the whole page can be used. And this book is easy because it's just held together with staples. So I would take the two staples out, and then you'd still have some two-page spreads to work with. So that was that one. And then the handkerchief box. In part 1 and part 2, I talk about gentlemen's hankies that I've recently been interested in because of someone I saw on some platform, and I still can't find his name again. But he films himself living this lovely vintage simple life, and in the one where I found him and first liked his videos, he finds and collects vintage and antique men's hankies, and in this video he finds them, he washes them, so you see his process for that, and then he hang dries them, and he irons them, he folds them neat and stores them, and you get to see the process. And for some reason that hit my ASMR soul, and I found a number of gentlemen's hankies at this sale, and then I saw this box, and I thought, wouldn't this be a wonderful cover for a hanky diary or any journal, or a part of it, with this beautiful illustration. These are a 1/4 dozen ladies' embroidered handkerchiefs made in Switzerland. And they are cotton. Somewhere it says pure linen. Okay, hem-stitched linen corner handkerchiefs made in Switzerland. Warranted all pure linen. I love these cool old stickers. So I loved it just for the box. I wasn't sure about the hankies because they're primarily white, but when I looked through them for the video yesterday, they're gorgeous. And this little like certification sticker popped up with the gold gilded edge and this bow that's pinned into it. Just so, I don't know, lovely and old. All pure linen, made in Switzerland. So I definitely use that in a journal. Okay, and then let's see, there's 4 of them in here. And this one has a butterfly and the flowers. And the way that they're folded, you already have a made page pocket. Or you can unfold it and use it however you like. I will probably, I don't know, maybe keep one and sell the rest. This one has this beautiful lacy edge, and that border goes all the way around it. So pretty. Again, they've not been washed yet, but I will. This one has great staining on it. Beautiful. The bow at the top. And then this is another butterfly, but like flying, I guess, away with the flowers. So pretty. So that was a prize, and then I think that was it. So I'm going to upload this as fast as I can and fix that other video. And thank you so much for your patience as I learn what I'm doing. I always love to have you here. I always love to share with you. And I need it for my sanity. I don't know, is sanity the word? Or serenity, maybe. It's a better way to describe it. Many of these things I will sell. Some I won't. Again, let me know if there's anything you really, really love that you've seen, or any suggestions that you might have for any of it. And I've started to put one of the little golden books up, and I'm still researching a couple of the others, but those will go up pretty quickly. I'm slow, you guys. I'm slow at putting it up because I don't know if it's my ADHD or if everyone suffers with this, but it's so boring to list items, especially if you have a lot of like one thing. So as soon as I start to get distracted, I forget what I was doing, and it's very easy for me to mess up. So again, if you let me know something that you would like to see before the rest on my Etsy shop, let me know and I'll post that first. I have trouble saying goodbye, so I'm just gonna say it. I really appreciate you, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Love you guys. Bye.